So today, lads, we're going to be talking about the basketball league that is going to be going on in the year of 2027, or well, next year, basically I think it's from like November to April. And it is the league, the Essential Travel League. I don't know what it's going to be called. It looks like they're going to be having 7 2-week tours. I would assume, my guess would be they play East Coast America, they play West Coast America, they start getting out arenas. I'd say they play East Coast, West Coast, break for a few weeks. Because again, it's only 14 weeks which is just over 3 months. And they have 6 months to do it. So they're going to have equally as much time off. So I would say it'll be 2 weeks on, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, probably. It's thereabouts. 2 weeks on, a week off for a while. And there's going to be 6 teams in it. It is a league that is being backed by... Everyone talks about it as like the Saudi league. The Saudis, as far as I'm aware, are a very minor investor. Because, by the way, they invest in literally everything. Like, they've invested in everything. Like, they are putting, because of, obviously, oil is finite, they are putting the money that they have from oil in everything. They are taking risks on everything. And this isn't like a Saudi sports league that's being played in Saudi Arabia. This is a league that they just have money in. Like, a little bit of money in. This is... we'll see. We'll see. It just appears... You never know. It could end up being a big thing with sports washing. It could just be that, okay, yeah, they think they can make some money out of it. But this league is being funded by tech bros. And if we know anything about tech bros, early on, they're cool with making losses. And they believe that women's sports is going to boom. My prediction is that they're going to offer Caitlin Clark $100 million. They're going to offer her $100 million to play. That would be my prediction. And this is the one league, by the way, that can... This is not a competitor to WNBA. This is a league that can put Unrivaled out of business. This is a league that has the funding, that has the backers, and it can very easily put Unrivaled out of business. They got Candace Parker, who was an Unrivaled commentator last year, as one of their like main basketball people. They have one of like a perennial all-star in Alana Beard running the basketball show. Like they actually have like people there already committing. And I would say they have a lot of big WNBA players committed. I would be shocked if Aaliyah Boston doesn't end up playing. I think they might offer Aaliyah Boston $2-3 million to play. I reckon Caitlin Clark is going to make somewhere between 50 to 100 million if she wants to play. Because these leagues are going to take a loss. Like, again, these people are so fucking rich. There's so much money involved that they could lose $1 billion trying to get it to work and be like, it is what it is. They could try and make it work and lose $1 billion and they'll be like, it was worth the risk. Because with all the major money men with these investors, these investors are not sports people. They are not sports people. These believe that these are investors that look for trends. They would have invested in AI. They would invest in all these other things in the past. And they look for trends and they see women's sports, especially women's basketball, as a trend. So they think if they can get in early now, they can just waste a bunch of money and it's going to be worth way more in the future, which I think it will be. Because if we want to be conservative, the WNBA as a league is worth 5-6 billion. 5-6 billion minimum. That is minimum. You might be saying, but like teams are only selling for a certain amount. Yeah, because they only get 42% of the revenue. If you buy a team, you only get 42% of the revenue. So whatever a team sells for, let's be honest, the Connecticut Sun are one of the least valuable teams. 300 million, double that. More than double that. So it's 600 million by 15. It's about 10 billion or 9 billion. And that's on its cheapest end. That's probably the value of the league is about 10 billion. A league that's trying to compete with the WNBA, and they're making the prediction that the WNBA is going to grow to 100 million. Is going to grow to 100 billion is way too much. Maybe from 10 billion to maybe 20, 30 billion. And if you can spend $1 billion getting in as this alternate league that goes on in the true basketball season, and you can spend $1 billion, and yeah, you're worth even 10% of the WNBA. And that's the thing where it's like an ideal scenario for this league is that the WNBA stays. An ideal scenario for the WNBA is that these leagues go. And the problem is that these leagues have the money to pay more because they have less overheads unless they own 100% of the league. So I would assume that we're going to be looking at minimum total. Let's just say there's 66 players in the league. I would say you're going to, because there's no salary cap, there's nothing about that. I would not be surprised if there are, it's a non-American sports league. Salary cap doesn't mean shit. Like, there's probably going to be these teams, like Caitlin Clark's probably going to go, yeah, you give me 100 million, but you're paying or pay me 75 million. You're paying Aaliyah 3 million. Lexi's getting 3 million. I kind of want to play with Kate Martin. And give me Kelsey as well. Pay Kelsey 3 or 4 million. Let's get half our Fever team in. Let's get half the Fever team. Let's just get a bunch of her friends. Aja Wilson can go, okay, cool. Give me Alicia Gray. Cool. Aja Wilson's there. She negotiates Caitlin 70 million. She negotiates 6-7 million for herself. She's like, okay, yeah, give me Alicia Gray, Chelsea Gray. And I don't know. I don't know what they want to do. Stewie can go bring her crew. Sabrina can bring her crew. Sabrina can bring Niara, Satu. Bring freaking Holly Winterburn over to get the Oregon crew back together. But it's like this league has the potential to do that, and it's 5v5. They've 66 players. Unrivaled is this is a direct competitor with Unrivaled, and they can blow Unrivaled completely out of the water. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, Unrivaled is gimmick ball. And like, look, I'm happy Unrivaled is there for the players so that they don't have to go overseas. It's as simple as that. It's hard. It's a bad watch. Like, it is objectively a bad watch. The only time Unrivaled was fun was on the first day when the first two teams that played, it was the Mist and I can't even remember. It was Stewie's team against someone else, and Jewel Lloyd hooped. Was it the Mist against Aaliyah Boston's team? No, Aaliyah Boston played Angel Reese's team on the first day. I can't even remember. Maybe it was Fee's team. But like, it was like they sprinted and they realized after one game, holy shit, we can't play like this anymore. Yeah, we just can't play like this anymore. This is we're all going to hurt ourselves. So it became boring gimmick ball. Like 3-on-3 is gimmick ball. And now you've got this alternate league, 5v5, and they're going to make accommodations for players. They're going to have tons of time off. They get to play all over the world. They probably play East Coast for 2 weeks, West Coast in America for 2 weeks. I would assume Europe is one of those trips. I would say China is going to be another one. Australia is probably another one. And that's 5. You probably are going to then play, maybe you go and play 7 games in Canada. Maybe you go and play a couple of games. Maybe you go and say, you know what, we'll play Mexico, Canada. We'll travel a little bit for the 2-week thing. We'll travel and we'll go the rest of North America. And then they probably will end up going one of the 2-week trips to be Dubai, Saudi Arabia, like those type of areas. And it is what it is. Maybe they go Western Europe, Eastern Europe. Maybe they go Western, Eastern. So you play in like London, you play in Paris, you play in Madrid, Barcelona, all of these places, and then you go and play for 2 weeks. You then go and play in like Greece, you go play in Serbia, you play in Turkey, all of those places. So it is one of those things where it's like, okay, yeah, there's something here, and with the money involved, I don't like everyone like, oh, Caitlin just wants to grow WNBA, man. Caitlin's admitted the league fucking hates her. She's as good as admitted that. Of course Caitlin wants to grow the WNBA, but no player is proud enough to turn down $100 million. And that is not a crazy estimate. Could it be more than the estimate? Yeah. But there's no way that Caitlin Clark will not be offered a minimum of $50 million for this. A minimum of $50 million. Like, that's more money than Caitlin Clark has made in her entire life. There is no way it's not a minimum. And with Candace Parker involved, Caitlin Clark can get enough players there. Because again, they're going all over the world. Caitlin Clark People are like, oh, Caitlin doesn't care about money. Of course she fucking does. Do you think Caitlin Clark wants to, do you actually think Caitlin Clark is all of those speaking engagements that she's like, you know, really, really interested and loves everything that's going on in all those speaking engagements and having to do that instead of playing basketball for the entirety of last season? Like, again, there's a difference between not being solely money driven and not caring about money at all. And yes, is she not solely money driven? Of course she's not. But like, it's so weird that people like will try to live vicariously through Caitlin, being like, no, Caitlin wouldn't do that. We don't fucking know Caitlin. None of us do. None of us do. And I actually don't. And the thing is like everyone being like, oh, this is like live golf. They don't have to make a choice between playing in this and the WNBA. And not only that. Like, yes, I understand live golf pays hundreds of millions. I understand live golf pays stupid money. I understand. But it's not like it's not like Rory McIlroy is not making tens of millions of dollars a year on prize money alone, and then double that in endorsements. Caitlin Clark's biggest endorsement, her biggest endorsement potential has already been fucked up by her agent for the entirety of her career in shoes. The entirety of her career, she will not make major money from shoe brands, from Nike, because her agent fucked that one up. Because she was the first. Juju Watkins is going. I can guarantee you, Juju Watkins will 10x Caitlin Clark's shoe deal because her agent made a dumbass deal. And let's not forget, Caitlin Clark at $16 million per year for all the endorsements and everything. That is almost a hard cap. Caitlin Clark's been everywhere in the last year. That is almost a hard cap because all the big endorsements she signed, dumb long-term deals. That's a hard cap. So she can make more money probably in a year in this league than she will for her entire WNBA career. Endorsements included. And it's not going to affect endorsements one bit. Because there's no real alternative. What's the alternative? Play an unrivaled in the offseason? Sit on her ass? That is the alternative. It's not this or the WNBA. The alternative is, this is not during the season. The alternative is her sit on her ass, not play basketball and do speaking engagements for 1/1000th of the price. And if you, like, unpopular opinion, if you want to talk about the ethical nature of what she's doing, I can guarantee you that if you looked in depth into every single one of her speaking engagements, there's probably something shady. Just like if you look in depth in Nike, there's stuff shady shit. Just like if you probably look in depth into half the fucking WNBA owners, there's shady shit. There's shady shit everywhere. Like this, for me, it makes, if the offers are what is being speculated, she would be crazy to have done this. She would be crazy to turn it down. Because what's the alternative? Sit on her ass all next offseason. And I know, I understand when I say sit on her ass. She's working out, she's doing all these things. But she can do all of that while playing 5-on-5 ball, working on her game, and making more money than she'll ever see in her life. So yeah, it's an interesting one. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys.